A car accident left the young tycoon Alan disabled. Even more ironically, his fiancée and best friend ended up together. Today was their wedding. Alan attended with his female companion, gracefully offering blessings to the newlyweds. Everyone looked at him with pity, but who would have guessed? The radiant girl by his side was just a caregiver he hired. Since becoming paralyzed, Alan's mood plummeted. Once charming and charismatic, he used to be the center of attention at social events, but now he was confined to a wheelchair, bored all day. His heartbroken parents kept hiring caregivers for him, but he always found ways to drive them away. No one lasted more than a week. This time, the girl applying for the job was Sophie. She needed this well-paying job to support her family. On their first meeting, Alan deliberately made things difficult for her, suddenly pretending to have a mental breakdown to scare her. But to his surprise, Sophie wasn't frightened away. Instead, she smiled and said, "I won't give up this job so easily." That response made Alan a little more curious about her. Alan refused anyone's company, coldly telling Sophie to leave as soon as her shift ended. But Sophie was stubborn. She changed her style every day, trying everything to pique his interest. Yet Alan's heart remained closed. Then one day, Sophie accidentally overheard Alan's parents arguing, and learned that he had applied for euthanasia in 6 months, which was why the contract was only for that long. The truth devastated Sophie. She couldn't believe her job was to accompany someone walking toward death. She wanted to quit, but when she returned home and saw her family relying on her, she couldn't bring herself to give up the well-paying job. Just as she felt lost and helpless, Alan suddenly suggested going to a concert, his first voluntary outing since becoming paralyzed. At the concert, Alan wore an elegant suit, and Sophie also dressed up carefully. Sophie noticed Alan closing his eyes in the music, as if transported back to the past. Afterward, Alan hesitated to go home. In the car, he suddenly asked, "If you only had 6 months left to live, how would you spend it?" Sophie didn't answer directly. Instead, she pulled out a piece of paper, filled with all kinds of wild plans. In the days that followed, Sophie began executing her bucket list. She took Alan to a horse race, only to end up in a comical situation when his wheelchair got stuck in the mud. She brought him to a fancy restaurant, but they were turned away for not having a reservation. Alan acted impatient on the surface, but inside, something subtle began to change.